Pledge allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
No changes to the agenda, right? Anybody have anything? So we need a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second it.
There's been a motion and a second to approve the agenda. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Alderman interviews? Mayor interview? Okay, so let's go on to number 6. We need a motion to approve the meeting minutes of Tuesday, August 20th.
Sorry, they're in your,
Yeah.
you're in the agenda wrong. There's should be September 5th. My apologies.
Oh, yeah, I'm still in on. Oh, that'd be right. Oh, no, it's September 5th, yeah. So you just want to change that, September 5th. Is there a motion to approve the meetings of Tuesday, September 5th?
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Julia, seconded by Brian. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay. Public input.
I have public input. Former Mayor Lucas Dreesen, most of the city knows who I am. Coming this evening, not just for myself, coming for many people throughout the city. I spent 50 plus hours a month at this job. It was worth a lot to me, maybe not worth as much to others. But the phone calls I made, the footwork I did, was worth a lot. I don't think the majority of the city realizes that. But what I'm highly disappointed in tonight is that swimming pool would never happen if it wasn't for the guy you're looking at. I spent hours trying to find the money for this pool. This guy needs to be held accountable. There's absolutely no reason that pool is not done. The people that have come to me, the phone calls I've taken since I've left that seat, he has no excuses. He's got 2 installments or whatever it is. He took on the job. He needs to get back here, and if he's not going to finish the job, there needs to be a suit filed against him. I can't start a job and leave for months and come and go when I want. I mean, there is multiple people upset about the situation. What's the status on it? Where's the guy at?
We've called him every day the last 2 weeks, and he has not called us back. And we discussed it with the lawyer, so.
Because I would highly say that there needs to be some action taken.
We have recently found out he has multiple customers with complaints filed against him.
Is there a deadline when he's going to have this completed?
We're supposed to be by the end, like we tell him,
2 months ago.
didn't we tell him the end of
I sent him
September
a
the last
text
time?
that we wanted it complete by the end of September, but
Yeah,
he
he
has
just quit
not
responding.
responded. So,
I would say you're going to have to take legal action. And that ground
we've talked to the lawyers. so-
Right. The second situation is I've had some complaints off the west side of town about sewage coming up, the smells coming up into the basement, and they're wanting to know when the phase 1 is going to take place. And I said, I have no idea. You need to call the city office or call Darla or an alderman. So people are wondering about the phase, that project. The second thing is the low-hanging trees, they need to be dealt with. I don't need the job, I don't need the work. I'd be willing to help out the city if you need me. But my bucket truck had clipped a big branch and wrecked a bunch of wiring on my where all my controls are at. So $1,800 fix, but it needs, some of these people If I'm driving my lawnmower down the street or my motorcycle and I reach up and I can touch the branches, they're too low. I know you guys are trying. I know Dave is trying. The new code enforcement, they're doing doing whatever they can do. But for anybody throughout the city that's going to listen to this, if you get a letter in the mail, do something about it. Just don't crumple it up and throw it in the garbage can. It's costing the city money to have a code enforcer to send out these letters, and I hope people start taking action. And thank you for all the people that have done it, because it does make a difference throughout the whole city. My 3 minutes are up. Thank you.
Tree, just so you know, letters for tree trimming
Yep.
were sent out earlier this summer.
Correct.
Because of the staffing situation towards the end of the summer, there hasn't been a lot of follow-up yet. That's coming in the next few weeks, so.
Thank you, Dave.
Yeah, because the snowy season's coming and there's gonna be more buildup on the branches. Yeah, let's see if we make it worse, so.
I mean, I think the city's equipment should not be getting hit by branches, nor should the garbage truck. All what things cost just to buy and the maintenance to repair. These people need to take care of and respect that people have a lot of high-priced equipment going up and down the streets, along with cars and vehicles, pickups. So.
Anything else? No? All right, let's move on to legal updates.
Spoke to the sheriff yesterday afternoon. They did not have anything. We are planning on getting together with Chief Shirk and from Beersford to finalize the PD inventory. We're shooting for next Thursday. So hopefully that will continue to work for everybody so we can get that stuff finalized before the end of this fiscal year.
And Austin is in, where did you tell me? He's
Salem.
Salem, yeah. But if we have anything, we can call him by phone. He did tell me that. Okay, so we'll move on to number 9, to approve, motion to approve payment, which is in your packets, I believe, yeah, of invoice 43392 in the amount of $3,398 to Banner Associates for work completed through August 24th on the wastewater treatment plant.
I'll make a motion to approve invoice order 43392 in the amount of $3,398 to Banner Associates for work completed through August 2024 on the wastewater treatment plant.
I'll second it.
There's been a motion and a second. Any other discussion from anybody on that? I think it's moving right along, so. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we'll go on to number 10. Approve payment of invoice number 43373 in the amount of $25,239.62 to Banner Associates for work completed in August 2024 for the Elsister Water Facility Plan Amendment.
I'll make a motion to approve payment of invoice 43373 in the amount of $25,239.62 to Banner Associates for work completed August 2024 for the Elsister Water Facility Plan.
I'll second it.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second. Any discussion on that? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we'll go down to number 11. Approve payment of invoice number 43377 in the amount of $3,997 to Banner Associates for work completed in August on the Elsister Sanitary Sewer Collection System project.
I'll make a motion to approve payment of invoice for 3377 in the amount of $3,997 to Banner Associates for work completed in August 2024 on the Alcester Sanitary Sewer Collection System Project.
I'll second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any other discussion? This is the new one, right? The new, for the west part of town.
Correct.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, number 12. What's
So I can
that?
go through this one. So the Transportation Alternative Grant tied in with part of the park revitalization with when they did the housing study a year and a half or 2 years ago. One of the things that was listed in there was the lack of safe travel for on the main thoroughfares. And one of the things that had came up during the beginning talks of the park project was the increased amount of traffic on 6th Street between Highway 11 and the west side of the school, or the east side of the school, excuse me. So the Transportation Alternative Grant is through the DOT. The tentative plan right now would be to add a walking path along the south side of 6th Street from Dakota to the school, connecting into the school, and then future phases could potentially, move it north if, the proposed residential development would ever happen. So this is just, the resolution is just approving the application, which is due October 1st for that path. The packet with that resolution kind of just walks you through all of that. It would be, like I said, along 301st or 6th Street, connecting City Hall, which would be, east side of town has kind of the big artery of sidewalks in the residential area, across Herb Anderson Memorial Park, and then over to the school and connecting the football fields as well.
Would it connect to the one that's already in the park?
It can, yeah.
It could.
Yep, and that would be part of, kind of just interconnecting everything to increase safety for pedestrian traffic, getting the kids that are, walking back and forth for lunch, getting them off of the highway, especially during spring and fall with harvest and planting and all that stuff. There's an increased amount of people that are walking, running, walking the dogs, things of that nature along that stretch of road. So just improving the safety of it. Nothing, it's obviously it's a grant, they're competitive, nothing's guaranteed, but when I did a walkthrough with DOT, they said projects like this are typically a 3 to 4 year construction timeline. So if you look in that packet, the proposed project cost would be, Banner's opinion of probable cost would be roughly $586,000 plus, getting used to reading their projections. Opinion of total project cost, $664,000. And then the 18% match would be approximately $119,000. Speaking with CCOG, if that match can't be met with, if we don't feel going into 2026 because we won't find out about the grant until early 2025. If it's something that we're looking into 2026 and beyond budget-wise, we can withdraw our application. If between donations to the park project, city budget, and things of that nature, we're not going to be able to meet that match, we could withdraw at that time.
Oh, it's not. We might as well try.
Might as well put the application in if something changes.
Or we decide we don't want to go forward with it because of the cost, because other things can change in the next couple of years.
So I'll read the
So
resolution.
we need a
Would be,
motion?
yeah. So whereas the City of Alcester desires assistance from South Dakota Department of Transportation Alternatives Program for the purpose of constructing a shared use path along 301st Street, and whereas the City Council hereby commits to the continued maintenance and operation of the trail, and whereas the City Council hereby commits local match of not less than 18.05% of the project, and whereas the City Council acknowledges its responsibility to secure right-of-way or easements for construction. Now therefore be it resolved that the City Council hereby authorizes the filing of a grant application, including all understanding and assurances contained therein for the Transportation Alternatives Grant Program, and hereby authorizes the mayor to, in connection with the application, and to provide such additional information as may be required. Adopted this 17th day of September 2024.
Okay, so we'll need a motion to accept the resolution.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2024-12, Transportation Alternative Grant.
There's been a motion, is there a second?
I'll second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to apply for the resolution for the City of Alcester 2024-12. Do you know, Dave, the last one, and you probably don't know either, the one that comes by your house, Brian? Was that all, Brian?
That was that Safe Routes to School.
Is that a
There's
different-
there's similar programs.
They're similar. I just was
Yeah. They
curious.
still require a local match.
I hope if we do this, we plan it a lot better than that's planned.
Yeah.
I had a lot of damage from that one.
Yeah, yeah. So, just an app.
Avoid that
You need to
particular
watch.
engineering firm.
Yeah, right.
I didn't realize that one went through your yard.
Well, it doesn't go through it, what happened was.
Did you have a vote, Darrell?
What's that?
Did you have the vote?
Not yet. So, at this time, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, the next one is the special assessment roll, resolution number 2024-13, approving the special assessment roll for nuisance.
So this came about with the new code enforcement officials with property maintenance and building code in conjunction with working with the city attorneys for the instances where the city would have to abate a property and the property owner is billed and does not reimburse the city. This resolution would allow the city to add that to the special roll assessment to submit for taxes, adding that to the property taxes to the county. Now therefore be it resolved by the Alcester City Council in and for the City of Alcester, Union County, South Dakota as follows, that the special assessment roll for nuisance abatements in various areas within Alcester, South Dakota is hereby approved, and the assessments in the assessment roll are levied against the property described in it. The assessments become a lien against the property when the assessment roll is filed in the office of the finance officer. The assessment may be paid in one annual installment and shall be collected under Plan 1 collection by the Union County Treasurer as provided in South Dakota Codified Law 9-43, adopted 17 September 2024.
So, any questions more for him before? Okay, so is there a motion to approve this resolution?
I'll make, excuse me, I'll make the motion to, for resolution 2024-13, approving the special assessment roll for nuisance abatements in various areas within the city of Alcester, South Dakota.
I'll second it.
There's been a motion and a second. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we'll go on to number 14, Finance Office information.
I'll walk through the 2025 budget appropriation ordinance. Any questions from last meeting when Kendra walked through anything? 2025 total general government 238,914. Public safety, there was that 3% increase with the law enforcement. Fire and civil defense remained the same, so the total at 124,800. Public works, highway and street, snow removal, cemeteries, 340, 8661. Ambulance, their ambulance annual allowance remained the same at $1,400. Culture and Rec, the big difference you'll see there is Kendra and I worked, and Julia worked on splitting apart the golf course and the community center, event center. So the golf course and those two would be separated under the budget. That was something that's been requested or talked about and asked of. So those were split apart. So the total Culture and Rec, $799, $667, and $23. So the total general fund appropriations for 2025, $1,380,068.60. And then there's 3 different items in second penny. One under the parks. There's the lawnmower the big mower for the park is approaching about 1,000 hours, and that's about the time that Lonnie and the guys said that's when you'll start seeing more stuff breaking down. I think there was some, I don't know if there was some warranty stuff too, but once you hit 1,000 hours, the value of it drops off. Wanted to do a trade-in there, so included that 10,000 there. 27,000 for the golf course. That includes the recommendations that we got from the insurance company of redoing the exterior of the old clubhouse, and as well as there was some electrical updates that needed to be done to the exterior of that, some plumbing updates to the bathroom on the course, some tree work, some other work on the course, and then the community center. Their request was there's a oil fryer oil filter that they wanted. So those 3 things. So with those 3 things from second penny, that would bring the total 2025 general fund appropriations to $1,418,768.60. And then you'll see under just below that with the revenue, the general fund and the second penny, and the city's revolving loan fund, matching that appropriations. Kendra and Julie and I, we really felt like we were pretty conservative with, trying to figure out next year's revenue, and, that possibility of that sales tax repeal. But, we were able to get that in there, and I think we were pretty open and honest with where we're at, this year for what we expect next year to be. And then going down below that, your proprietary funds, the water fund, sewer fund, solid waste. Sewer fund, you'll see that's the 1.7 million. That includes that amount for the loan for the phase 1 of the wastewater sewer collection project. And then solid waste really didn't change. Water didn't really change much either. So, and then below that is the property tax and special assessment tax requests. So, any questions regarding anything?
I think we kind of talked about it last time. So we just need to have a motion. Okay, is there a motion to approve the second reading of the 2025 budget appropriation ordinance?
I'll make a motion to approve second reading of 2025 budget appropriations ordinance.
I'll second it.
There's been a motion and a second to approve the second reading. Any other discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Next thing you'll see in your packet is the August warrant report. You can look through that and let me know if you have any questions on that. A little different layout than what you're used to. It's a little cleaner look for you.
So if there's no questions, is there a motion to approve the August warrant report?
I'll make a motion to approve the August warrant report.
I'll second.
There's been a motion and a second. Any other questions on it? So all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried.
Next thing is the August year-to-date kind of financial review. First thing should be the revenue summary. General fund is looking on track. We're right about 75% of the way towards budgeted revenue for that. About 60 to 70% of the year. Water, sewer, both on track. Water is a little bit behind revenue to budget, but with staffing challenges in the office, it's taken me a little bit longer to get some stuff entered. So sewer, solid waste, looking good there. Golf course, a little bit behind yet. I'll talk about that here in a little bit, but overall, clubhouse-wise, they continue to be pretty busy in the clubhouse. Event center is not quite as busy as we would like it to be. The golf course continues to be quite busy and outpacing. It's definitely going to set a record year. As a matter of fact, this past weekend was probably one of the busiest days in September we've probably ever seen at the golf course. Definitely a little bit of work that we need to do this last quarter of the year to make that revenue budget for up there, but it's coming along. It's probably a little bit behind where it was this time last year, but not by much, and our expenses are a little bit higher this year with repairs and some stuff. So, special revenue, second penny sales tax, those are both on track as well, and then those other ones are just the donation funds. Profit loss, kind of just a little bit more revenue to expenses review. Water, because of with the water meter project, purchasing all of the water meter and everything for this year for the entire project before prices go up again after January 1st. Expenses were a little bit higher than expected. Sewer, solid waste, water reserve, all of those are looking good. Golf course revenue to expenses still a little bit. We're closing that gap slowly. I don't think we'll quite unless quarter four does really well. I don't anticipate that we'll end this year with quite the numbers we had last year, but I still think that we'll do okay. I think we'll get really close to breaking even or being on the positive side a little bit. But we have had some unexpected repairs again at the building with the HVAC system and the ice machine and just some unplanned for expenses repair wise, and then all on the course as well. Increased expenses and repairs to the golf rental carts and stuff like that. So other than that, everything looks to be tracking to where it should be this time of the year. Is there any questions on that? I do have a detailed line item report if there's anything specific you'd like to look at.
Well, I guess, and I'm sure it's the same for everybody, I have a concern. And with the event center, if people are gonna have, for instance, weddings, they plan that, maybe a year ahead of time. Are we getting that advertising in the right places to make people look at us or give us an opportunity, or is nothing being done?
So that's something that Kendra and I, Darla, we talked about as the budget for next year was coming into, as we were putting that together, asking where those advertisements and stuff are at right now, where they're putting those,
If they're targeted right.
and where they want to put those next year. So they want to kind of shift focus away from some of the magazines that they've been putting advertisement into, and shifting that focus over to they're going to be at 3 different wedding showcases up in Sioux Falls next year. They're spread out. I can't remember. I think it's like spring or like late winter, like January to March. There's one late spring, March, April, May timeframe, and then there's one later, I think, in the summer.
Or is there one in November?
Yeah, there might be one in November next year, 2, 3, or 4 of them. But they did get into all of those up in Sioux Falls. So hopefully that will help them shift their focus on that, getting those events in. Other than that, they're, they're,
We get a lot of small things, it's the big things we need. We get a lot of birthdays and that kind of stuff.
I got a question. Last 4 Mondays I drove by, the course is busy. The golf course, the clubhouse is closed. We got multiple people going to DJ's to buy a beer. And then they bring it to the clubhouse and sit out on the patio and drink. What an opportunity to make some money. Why are we closed?
Well, we're battling that.
Yeah, I mean, you guys are the boss. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't want to work it, find somebody to work it. But there's been multiple people that have talked about it.
one of the things they did do is they did get one additional clubhouse attendant hired, advertising for a few more, trying to up the staffing a little bit with the 2 clubhouse attendants they had this summer, and not making excuses for them by any means. The 2 that they had for this summer, both teachers, so they're back at school, not as available as much. So trying to hire a couple that can fill in some of those shorter hours. Hiring another bartender, another cook, just trying to
They're
get
having trouble getting
increase the
adults.
staffing.
We need adults, and that's what we're not getting.
So-
We can't get adults.
And I know I brought this up before, but it bothered me when I walked in one day and the sign said, if you're up there golfing and you're a golfer, we'll make fried foods for you, but not for anybody else. I thought about walking back out of the damn place and saying, well, the hell with it, I won't do any business up there.
You know, and if
That's
people
not
need
right.
a cart, they gotta call somebody for a cart because there's nobody there. I mean,
Well, they're not even offering for a cart. It's closed. Yeah,
you want your numbers to be positive, right?
yeah. I know.
Did you say you had?
We have a
with
meeting
them?
tomorrow night.
So hopefully hash some things out tomorrow.
But it won't happen this year because it's already September, or almost October, then it closes. So do you need a vote on that financial report?
No, just this is just an update on where we're at, August year to date. Was there any questions on any of that? And then the last thing that I have for you tonight is this kind of started with the insurance review earlier this year, along with the safety manual that we've talked about at other meetings and things like that, is just making sure that we had a job description for every position within the city, reviewing and updating those that we already had. So the next sheet should be just a kind of a summary of the job description changes. Working with Darla, with the library committee, you guys and Paige helped put together that head city librarian job description. There was a few updates to the event center manager position, mainly including one of those key factors, that performance factors of meeting budgeted revenue on an annual basis when factoring in annual reviews. Added in bartender, dishwasher, busser, the busser service, and server to the clubhouse grill. A groundskeeper, both at the golf course and the city groundskeeper, put those together. Darla, you and I earlier this year updated the pool manager and lifeguard positions. Added in the groundskeeper position at the cemetery, the rubble site operator out at the waste site, and then finalize, kind of just putting together the in the format that the rest of the city positions were at, the superintendent and assistant superintendent for public works. So those were all emailed out to you earlier this week, just to conserve paper. So was there any questions? I do have a hard copy here if anybody would like to take a look at them.
Did you add the changes that I sent back?
Should have been.
Okay.
Guys have any questions on those? at least they're all in a packet.
Yeah.
And then, we just need council to approve
All the
the
jobs.
addition and the changes and everything, so.
Okay, so we need a motion to approve the revised job descriptions for the city of Alcester.
I'll make a motion to approve the revised job descriptions for the city of Alcester.
I'll second.
Okay, there's been a motion and a second to approve the revised job descriptions for the city. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Okay, we'll go on to the Clubhouse Grill. Landon was gonna come and he called me this afternoon and he couldn't make it. So I said, could you explain to me what the problem is? Well, the ice machine broke. So they had to bring someone in. Now, Dave, if I'm saying this wrong, if he's told you, fill me in. So the guy came and the water that goes into the ice machine is not soft. So that's hard on the parts. And the Culligan man, or the guy who fixed it, recommends that we put this filter system into our ice machine to prolong the wear. He says otherwise it will be hard on it and it will go. And it's a lot cheaper to fix this way than to buy a whole new ice machine, is how Landon explained it to me. His recommendation was, though, to do the $31.55 a month rental payment, but it's a cost of $200 to put it in.
That's Landon's.
No, that's what the Culligan guys would cost. $200 to install,
That's his
$31.50.
recommendation or Landon's?
The Culligan guy, or the guy who fixed the ice machine. There was something that broke off, and he said that broke off because of the hard water going through the ice machine, so.
I got a question, how much, when you go to replace these filters, are they and how often do you think that we'll have to do this? Do you have any idea?
It depends on the hardness of the water.
But
I
how-
deal with scale buildup all the time at work, and what I'm seeing in this description is, it's not even a water soft. Like, if they're concerned about the hard water, they're not even offering a solution to that. This is just a Band-Aid for that problem. This is just to keep the scale from adhering to parts.
But how costly are those filters? Some of them
Oh, yeah.
are expensive.
And it's not solving the problem, it's just kind of covering it up.
So what would solve the problem?
Water softener.
The water side.
They're not cheap either though,
No.
No.
but that's gonna be a lot
And there
larger.
is one in the building already,
Oh, there is, and it's still too hard.
but it must not be connected to the ice machine.
Can't they just figure out it should be connected to this machine? Or is it not big enough to cover it?
Well, maybe we should just have them finish it.
I would look into that before I start jumping
Yeah.
at this, because if those,
Should we have the repairman give us a report?
yeah, because first off, it's that hard, they need to test the hardness and see how hard it is.
Right.
And if it's that hard, they need to reroute that water softener or put in a different, I mean, they have, basically what this is they're gonna put in, it's probably just a filter with a cartridge in it, the water's gonna flow through there, it's gonna basically try to pull that scale out, but it's just a Band-Aid, it's not gonna solve.
They do help. I mean, we sell the Scaltrol units at
Yeah.
work and stuff too, and they do help, but a water softener would probably be good
Long-
longevity wise.
Long-term wise, yeah, because you could pay off the water depending on
Well,
which
what
part
did we
you
have
use.
trouble with at the bar? We had to put a whole new something in there too.
That was the ice machine you
machine.
had issues with.
Yeah, it was the top part of the ice. That was before me, but I don't. Probably something
So
similar.
maybe we need to have the repairman give us a report, tell Landon that.
Yeah, and I would ask you to price out of, I mean, if we already have a softener, see if we can have it run through that
machine, because when you get into some of these cartridges, they're
Expensive.
And
ridiculous.
that was my concern, because they can be terribly
I mean,
expensive.
yeah, water softeners.
If you got to be replacing them every month or something, that's a lot.
Even if it was a separate system, over time, it's probably gonna be cheaper than having, if it's that bad, having to replace the.
Well, we
circuits.
should be able to get this by the next meeting. So in 2 weeks, it's not gonna be, I wouldn't think it'd break it.
I mean, I definitely want us to look into the best route.
Yeah, I think we have to do something. Or we will be buying a new ice
Well,
machine.
it's another situation of who's gonna check it, who's gonna change it,
Yep,
you know?
yep.
So this back page here says every 6 months for maintenance or when capacity is reached.
12,000 gallons.
Right. Which seems like a lot.
In a restaurant setting, though, that's not that much water.
It's just ice. It's not all their water.
Right.
I'm wondering if even this, if we talk to him, maybe this gentleman could be on the phone and he could talk to all of us, you know, instead of just reading it. He could talk to us about it the next meeting. But that,
Just to give you an idea, these filters don't seem to be too terrible, anywhere from 35 to 50 bucks online, depending on where you look.
but 2 weeks could hopefully give us more information. So we'll just,
Well, that isn't as bad as I thought it might be. because
Some of them are a lot
some of them
more.
are terribly expensive, but I just want to make sure we make the right decision and save
I
money.
know the cartridges for the systems we use, depending on who buy it, I mean, I think our list on them's, the small ones, they're a couple $100.
so we'll table this till the next meeting.
Yeah, just so you're aware, for his option, I understand why he wants to recommend their service plan for $31 a month. But that's $384 a year, plus the $200 that they're gonna require to come out and put it in. If we would just buy it for $460 and replace the measly filter, then for $460, it would be a lot cheaper in the long run.
And they're gonna mark those filters out, they come with.
So although that they would do the service and maintenance with that plan, if it's not hard to replace the filter ourselves, then I don't think their plan would really be worth it in the long
If it's the ones I'm thinking of, it's, they come with a wrench that fits the cartridge, they sit in, you pop it out, you pop the new one in, you tighten it, that's.
Right. I mean, you'd have to have a shut off somewhere to
Yep.
temporarily shut
They'll
off.
put isolation valves on.
Right.
Because it says right on your contact us about questions, so. Does that sound, Kevin, talk to us the next meeting?
run. Yeah.
Yeah, sounds good.
Okay. So we'll go on to the reminders.
The next meeting of the park revitalization committee will be tomorrow night up at the event center. We'll be meeting with the engineers to review their 3 initial concepts of the park, review those. The committee will give suggestions, feedback, and then engineers will take those back, revamp those, and then later this fall, we'll be able to present those to the public. Citywide cleanup started this past Friday. We'll run through the 30th downtown. Hopefully Lauren Fisher will be quick on getting those dumpsters changed out, but we'll have 3 full weekends of them, so hopefully that will help everybody. And then just a reminder for everybody that has not yet contacted the city office to get on the schedule to have their water meter changed out, to please do that. We are looking at second week of October right now is first opening, but because we're booking so far out, Turner Plumbing is able to schedule a Wednesday and Thursday every week. So they'll be able to get, hopefully get 20 meters changed out every week through October. So we're definitely making progress. We're about, I think we have 43 of them right now installed. So.
Good.
And then next week is homecoming week. Asked to remind everybody of that. Coronation is Monday night. I don't remember what games, but then the parade is downtown, starts at 1 o'clock, I think. So That's all I have for reminders right now.
Well, just so you guys are aware, I will be gone from the 22nd through the 27th. I'm doing a trade show out in Vegas.
Can I go along?
Can you fit in an army duffel?
Try.
When did you say October what?
No, this month.
Oh, September
Yep.
22nd.
22nd through the 27th.
Well, it sounds like a fun time.
Part of it will be.
Okay, at this time, I will make a motion to go into executive session, SDCL 125-2-1, personnel.
I'll second that.
Did you get
Did you
up?
second it?
Yeah.
Kendra seconded.
And your captain.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're in executive session at 6:46.
Is there a chair out there for you to sit on?
We're out executive session at 7:21. If there's nothing else, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
I'll make the motion to adjourn the meeting.
Okay, there's been a motion by Carrie to adjourn. Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Kendra is seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Meeting is adjourned at 6:47,
Wait, no,
or 7:47.
no.
Wait, what?
Seven.
No,
7:21.
7:22. 7:22.
It's like, wait a minute.
I looked at my wristwatch.